Hi guys, and welcome to my Python strings tutorial. You may ask, what are strings? Well, strings are basically text like the words you use in a text message. So I'm going to run this line of code right here. Perfect. Here we assign the string hello world to the variable x. If you want to know more about variables, you can view my previous video, variables and arithmetic. We can use double or single quotation marks when assigning a string to a variable, as you can see in these lines of code right here. You can mix up the double quotations and single quotations in a string. In this example, the string is Bob saying, "Oh, hi Mark," in quotation marks to show Bob saying that. First thing to note is that you can join two or more strings together with a plus sign, like you're adding them. Also, you may want to have a space in one or more of the strings to not make the concatenated string look weird. So both strings in this example are joined, but one looks odd and the other doesn't. So clearly you can see the first one, there's no space between hello and there, so it looks a little weird. But in the second one, since we did add a space right here, you can tell that hello there looks more normal. To join a string and an integer or float, you'll have to use a comma instead of a plus sign. In this example, we joined hang and the integer 10. So it's hang 10. Pretty gnarly. Python has keywords. Keywords are reserved words that have a special function. In this case, we have int, str, and float. Int converts non-integers like strings into integers. String converts non-strings like integers and floats into a string. And float converts non-floats into floats. Here we see a handful of examples of these keywords. There are many other keywords, but we'll get to them at a different video. So right here we have int with the string 42 to create an actual integer, that's 42. And here we have the number 0, which we convert to a string. Down here we can see the type of 0 when it's converted to string, which is string. And right here we have an example for float. Okay guys, moving on to the next thing. All the way down here. Now I'm going to run these lines of code. Okie doke. It's good to note that strings are iterable, meaning that you can break a string down to parts and you can manipulate those broken down parts. Since strings are iterable, you can use brackets to call a certain index of the string. In this example, 0 in the bracket calls the very first item in the string. So it's t, right here, t. In most programming languages, the order of an iterable variable starts with 0. So to call the second letter, we'll need to put 1 in the brackets. So we put 1 right here to call the second letter in the string, which is E. Perfect. In this example, we call the first value all the way to the 9th value. As you can see, blank spaces are also count when iterating. We use the colon to show from what index to start and to what index to end when picking from an iterable variable. So right here we pick from the very first, meaning T for testing, so the very first, all the way to the 9th one, which is all the way to T. Right here you can see there is an empty space. So for example, the variable example, it goes all the way from T to the other T, to the very third T. Next line. Perfect. We can also just specify our splicing of an iterable variable like this. So 3 : Here we put 3 before the colon to indicate where we want to start. However, you may have noticed that there's no number to indicate where to stop, or stop iterating. Well, when it's empty like that, it tells Python to go to the last possible index. As you can see, it starts at the very third character. So that'll be the 4th letter, all the way to the end. So as you can see, the second testing shows up, and it starts at the very fourth character right here at T, the fourth letter. Because it starts at 0, so 0 is the first one. Making the integer negative allows us to choose an index and iterate backwards, as you can see here. So we put -1, so it gets the first last value, so very last value, which is a G. And right here, there's a G, because it's the very last one. And you can go also even more backwards with 2, 3, and so forth. You know, the second last one, the third last one. Let me run this last line. Perfect. The keyword input asks the user to type in something, and whatever you type in is saved into a variable as a string, as you can see with enter. So with input, you can input anything. I put something lol, and whatever I inputted in it goes straight to the variable enter. So we type in here enter, and we run it. It's something lol. Perfect. So that wraps it up, guys, for the strings video. The next Python video will be about conditionals. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.